Absolutely.
All right, we're rolling. Here we go.
Thanks, Bill. Welcome into Talk of the Town this week right here on C19 TV. Great to have you along. Tim Foster and for Steve Putnam. It's the month of May, and great to have a friend of ours that's been on many times, Angela Padgett, Special Events Coordinator with the City of Kings Mountain. Angela, welcome back to Talk of the Town.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
It's always great to have you. And man, Kings Mountain, there's a lot going on. It's been a busy year in Kings Mountain already. We'll
Yeah.
be talking about spring and summer events that'll be going on. But Angela, before we get into May and June and beyond, tell us about the year so far in 2024 in Kings Mountain.
Oh, we have had a great year so far. Of course, this is the city's 150th anniversary
And
birthday.
that's pretty amazing, isn't it? A lot of
Yeah.
history, too.
Oh gosh, yeah. The city was incorporated February 11th, 1874.
Yeah, not 1970. Yeah,
1874.
Well, if it was
Sorry.
1970, it would be one of the
Yeah,
fairly
yeah,
newest. But
exactly,
people are
exactly.
saying Kings Mountain's a little bit older, but back to, yeah, in all seriousness, 150
yeah.
years.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's-
February,
February 11th.
11th.
Yeah.
Wow, that's-
1874 by
Yeah.
William Mooney, who was our first mayor, who was Scott Neisler's great grandpa.
Scott was not the first mayor.
No, he wasn't
No,
the first
no,
mayor.
no, he's not that
William
old.
was
No,
the first
William
mayor.
was the
Yeah,
first mayor,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we actually have right now, his house is open for tours. We're
Really?
doing some little tea gatherings.
And where's that
things.
located at in
It's
Kings
on
Mountain?
103 Piedmont.
It's on Piedmont,
Yeah,
okay.
So yeah, and it's really neat how the whole city's embracing the 150th year. We're doing historical walking tours. The museum's been involved, the library,
Sure.
Joy Theater.
Yeah.
So it's really neat how everybody has come together, and happy that we've made it to the 150th
Well,
year.
absolutely, yeah. And you were mentioning a couple. I mean, when I think of Kings Mountain, number one, I think about the great food there.
Oh, yeah.
But then we go back. You were talking about. I mean, Mooney Memorial Library is phenomenal. The Joy Performance Theater. So many great events that
Oh,
go
yes.
on there. There's so many wonderful things to do. And now you've added with this historical. A little bit of history going back to the 150th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of neat things, and you guys are doing a lot of wonderful things to celebrate that this year.
We are. Of course, we just hosted the 150th birthday bash.
Yes.
And our gospel concert that we hosted May the 3rd.
Right.
And then, but we're moving every event we're doing this year is we're incorporating that 150th year into that event. So we've got our Juneteenth celebration coming up June 22nd.
Yeah.
We're honoring the historical African American churches that are in the area, and some of the oldest.
Sure.
In our town, and then we're moving into July 4th, and of course July 4th is going to be huge.
It's always huge in Kings Mountain.
We're moving back to the walking track. A lot of people ask us to bring back to the live encampments, and so there's going to be a lot of history involved in that event, and especially around the Battle of Kings Mountain, which was not, before 1874.
Yeah,
but if it wasn't for that battle, there wouldn't be a
Well, there wouldn't be Kings Mountain. There wouldn't be a lot of.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
the
United States.
The United
probably,
States
yeah.
would look a lot different. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot with Bob Inman
that's
through
right.
the years when
That's right.
Liberty Mountain. Let's go back to the Juneteenth event. Talk a little bit about that day and what all will be involved with that day, Angela.
Well, we're moving it to Patriots Park.
Okay.
Last year it was at the walking track. We're moving it to Patriots Park. Java, the band, Java's coming in.
They're really good.
Very, very good. And then vendors, food, inflatables for the kids. Just a wonderful, wonderful time. And we invite everyone out for that event, you know. And but of course, again, live music. You know, we love live music. So
Absolutely.
that's June 22nd. It'll start at 6 o'clock.
So it'll start at 6 that day, and as you said, you'll have the vendors, you'll have the music.
Right.
It'll be a wonderful day and a great
really
great
will.
celebration day as well.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of history there.
A lot of history. And again, we're incorporating the 150th
Yeah.
into that. And then again, we're moving on to July 4th, and we've got a theater troupe that's coming in. That's actually, of course, they produce Liberty Mountain.
Yes.
Is going to come in and do some live action, you know, opportunities for people to watch, and you know, we reenactors are coming in. Of course, we'll have the fireworks.
Yeah, and I tell you, you know, we say this year after year, but I think Kings Mountain's firework, I think it's one of the best ones in Western North
yeah.
Carolina,
Oh, I do
year in
too.
and year out. But before we even get to that, you know, when you think about July 4th, as you talked about, you got the vendors. You know, you're going to have the music.
Yep.
You're going to have. Do you still do face painting and things like that?
Oh, we'll have all that.
You'll have
yeah.
every bit of that on that
but
day. Yeah.
STI is coming in as a sponsor.
Yeah.
So one thing we want to do is, because that track is so big, you know, the
Absolutely.
walking track is so big, is that we want to host a field day there for
Yeah.
the kids. You know, the old field days, like you know,
I
and,
remember those
have the
growing
sack
up.
races and the egg
Yeah.
races and all these different kinds of games for the kids and all. Not just inflatables. Do something a little different, you know, and something we remember as kids, you know, and the old Founders Day celebrations, you know, all those contests that they, you know, used to
Yeah.
have those, and so it's going to be a little different, but good, you know, as far as what we're offering, you know, other than the fireworks. You know.
Well, you know, I've been down there around Patriots Park and around that area in previous July 4th, and for me, I remember, you know, I had some good hot dogs, and then I had a little ice cream, and then ice cream led right in. I might have still had it in my hand when I'm watching those fireworks. I'm looking up, because not only is it it's one of the longest ones in North Carolina every year
about
as well.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
About
it's
30 minutes, yeah.
But the key is you got to get you a good spot. Talk about
You
that.
do, yes,
You don't want to walk up about 5 minutes before.
No. So we're actually going to start the festivities at 6 o'clock, but people usually come in about they'll come in about 2 o'clock to start coming into sitting to get a good spot at the track itself. So, and we'll
Yeah.
have actually Drew Fulton from Kings Mountain.
Kings
I think a
Mountain,
lot
yeah.
of people know Drew.
Yeah.
He is our DJ there,
Yeah.
And so he's
Yeah.
going to be playing
I think Drew
live
could
music.
broadcast some of the Kings Mountain football
Oh yeah,
games.
definitely
every year.
so.
Great
So-
guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he'll be bringing us some music that night, and then food galore. We'll have a lot of food trucks out there for everybody, and ice cream and different
figure
things.
there'll
That
be a
nature,
little
hot
ice cream out
dogs
there.
and
Yeah,
all
it'll be a
that.
warm
So
day,
you can't
yeah.
have July 4th without a hot dog.
No.
So but just everybody. Of course, I tell everybody when we're talking about these events, I always just check our website for
Yeah.
parking. You know, parking areas. You know, we'll put parking maps. We'll put.
Oh yeah, sometimes live on the show we have a call
Okay.
that comes in. Yeah, we weren't actually live on that, but we'll keep that going. You know, sometimes people are calling in, they're wanting information. They heard we were talking about July 4th.
Yeah, they were.
And they wanted more.
Well, that was my preacher. So.
Yeah, well, he might have wanted a little bit of information on
Yeah,
July 4th.
he probably would.
Yeah, well, but we'll tell him to watch the show, right?
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah,
Tommy
so-
Runyon watched the
Yeah.
show.
So back to the event itself again. You guys are going to have stuff going. And what time does it start again?
So
Angela?
6 o'clock for July 4th.
Yeah, okay.
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, and so and people,
fireworks, we're looking 9:15, 9:30.
about 9:30.
Yeah.
9:30. So and be of course a 30-minute show. So
Yeah.
and Scott Neisler, of course, is going to shoot the fireworks again.
Does
you
a
know,
great job.
we can't do the fireworks without him. You know,
No.
so and he's the best pyrotech in this side of the
Yeah,
state.
there's
you
a
know,
lot.
our country.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. You know, they get there and they watch the event, but they forget how much work is involved to make it happen.
Right.
And they do a phenomenal job
Yeah.
of that. But
Oh, yeah.
it's an amazing show, and you know, by that time, as you said, but you got to get your space early, and you got to be ready for a little traffic on the way
yeah,
out.
oh gosh, yeah. But our Kings Mountain Police Department are
great job.
phenomenal. It's really quick, you know, getting out. If you come and park near the track. So the only thing that we're going to ask people not to do this year is
Yeah.
park at them on the median on 74. We're going to
A lot
have
of people like
state
to do
troopers
that,
out there
yeah.
to hinder people from doing that. That was one of the big reasons we moved it to Patriots Park in the past, was safety, and that was one of the issues. So since we're coming back to the walking track, we just want to make sure that nobody parks on the medians. It's very, very dangerous to do that, and so we're going to try to keep that from happening. But it's going to be a safe event, a great event, and STI sponsorship means a lot to us.
Sure.
So they're again coming in first-time sponsors for the event. They'll be the
So
presenting sponsor.
They'll be the main sponsor.
They
of
will,
that. So
yeah.
that's huge, I know, for
Oh
you
yeah,
guys.
definitely. So
Yeah,
we
but-
always love to partner with community, our community partners, and they're one of the biggest in Kings Mountain, and we're in the county. So we're very, very happy that they're coming on board. So
Yeah, and you'll be seeing, and we'll, I'm sure Bill will bring up that website of, there it is, kingsmountainevents.com, because that website is where you can find everything that's going to be going on.
And not just our main events, even our observances. We do
Yeah.
have, in May 27th, going back a little bit,
Memorial
we're doing
Day, right?
Memorial Day,
Yeah.
yeah. So that'll be at the cemetery this year, back at the Mountain Rest Cemetery.
Yeah.
So we do all the observances. We do our larger events, and we try to throw some little small events, especially movie nights, phone parties, all the little things,
Yeah.
for the kids.
Summer's great in Kings
Right,
Mountain, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, well, we talked about July 4th. What about as we head on into July and into August? Let's talk a little bit
yes.
about that, Angela.
Yeah, beach blast.
Yes, it's a big one every year.
We're blasting out of summer
Yeah.
in August, but kids are going back to school. But we want to give them a last hurrah before they go back to
Yep.
school, and before a lot of people will take long vacations before they go back to work.
They absolutely do.
So,
They need it. Some people need it, yeah.
Exactly. So we have got a great lineup for Beach Blast this year. We are moving it back to just one day, but it's our 25th anniversary.
Isn't that amazing?
It really is. 1999 was the
99.
first.
That's
Yeah.
hard to believe it's been 20,
I
and it's gotten
know.
bigger and bigger every year.
Every year, and we're award-winning CBMA award
Yeah,
winners.
so it's phenomenal.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So we've got the Tones, we've got Blackwater, and the Voltage Brothers this year for Beach Blast.
So it'll be a great day.
it
And,
will be,
And I
yeah.
bet we can find some water around there somewhere.
Oh gosh, water rides, water wars, water inflatables, and we actually found a guy out of Raleigh that has a surfing ride.
So
But
you
you actually
can-
get on a surfboard.
So you get on the
Oh,
surfboard. Are we
yeah,
going to see
so-
Angela out there trying that?
No.
You want to stay for the whole event, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to spend the evening in the ER, do you?
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Yeah,
But it's going to be cool. That is
Yeah.
going to be really, really neat. And then, of course, we have contests. We have the dance troops from the different
Mm-hmm.
schools come out. We have actually 2 events going on at one time. We have stuff going on for the kids at the gazebo, and then we have the music down
Yeah.
at the stage. So
Yeah,
great.
it is, and we're winding down here, Angela. But again, what a summer it's going to be. The Juneteenth event coming up,
Yep.
July 4th around Patriots Park, and
Right.
then around so many different parts of Kings Mountain, including the end of the day with the fireworks, Beach Blast.
Beach Blast,
and
yep.
then that leads you right into the fall,
Yeah, the
and we'll have you
fall.
back probably before then. But that's
oh
going to be a
yes,
great fall. in
it
Kings
will.
Mountain.
Mountaineer Day. It's
Yeah.
coming back.
It's
You
gonna
know,
be
it's been on
exciting.
hiatus for
Yeah.
several years,
That's
but we're
exciting.
bringing it back. Yes, and I have to say that I will tell you, Jimmy Wayne is coming home for Mountaineer Day.
Wow, that'll
and
be
he's going
awesome.
to perform at Mountaineer Day. So we're very excited
That's going
about
to be
that.
a big day.
Yes, it will.
And we'll have you back before
Good,
then.
I hope so.
To talk about that. But in the meantime, Juneteenth, don't miss it in Kings Mountain. July 4th, it'll be just a few months down the road. And Beach Blast is going to be a wonderful spring and summer. And Angela,
Yes.
again, they can find all the information on your website, right?
KingsMountainEvents.com. That's exactly right.
Kings
Or they can call us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, 730-2101,
Mm-hmm.
or more importantly, kingsmountainevents.com, as Angela mentioned. It has everything. Angela, thank you for being on
Mm-hmm. Thank
Talk
you.
of the Town as
Appreciate it.
always, and we'll have you back soon.
Good.
Hey, stay tuned. More Talk of the Town. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Shara Miller, the host of Artworks. Each month we bring to you wonderful, talented artists from here in Cleveland County and the region. We have artists, we have potters, we have painters, we have musicians, we have actors. We just have wonderful artists that come to you and tell you about all that they're doing, their creativity, what inspires them. Join me here on Artworks each month on C19. You can also watch us online at c19.tv.
Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Hi, I'm Nikki Bliss Carroll, your host for Cleveland Connections, the show that explores what's happening at Cleveland Community College. Join us as we sit down with members of faculty and staff to discuss programs of study, upcoming events, and other exciting campus news. We'll have a new show for you each month on C19 TV, or you can stream us online at c19.tv. Tune in and connect with Cleveland Community College on Cleveland Connections.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town right here on C19 TV. Tim Foster in for Steve Putnam. Great to have you along. Great to have a couple of new guests on the set. Great to have Joe Bothell and Peggy Goforth, both Master Gardeners here in Cleveland County. And we're going to talk about a big Master Gardener event that'll be coming up. But first of all, thanks for being here to both of you.
Glad to be here.
All right, so Joe, let's just start off. First of all, a lot of people might be saying, what is a Master Gardener now? Some people have the old term, the green thumb. Some people have it, some people don't. But what's a Master Gardener? And we'll start with you, Joe.
All right. Well, Master Gardener is a program put on by NC State where it's about 40 hours of learning. And then after you get the learning, you have continuing education each year.
Sure.
And then there's some volunteer hours. You want to talk about the training they go through, Peggy?
Sure. Yeah, Peggy, again, welcome. Talk a little bit about the training to become a Master Gardener.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to tell you that the extension agent that works with us is Julie Flowers. She's the one that does the education that goes with it.
And she's been on Talk of the Town. I've met Julie, great lady.
Yes, she is. She is. And she does the education once a year, and she does it from 5:30 to 6, and it usually starts right after Memorial Day and finishes up right before Thanksgiving. So that's how it all gets started. But she also likes for you to fill out an application, and she likes to talk to you before the class so that she can realize whether you fit in Master Gardeners from the respect, whether you have time or what you feel about the group. She just wants you to have some information before you step in it. And the cost is $125 for the class. And one of the biggest things about being a Master Gardener is that you make new friends.
Yeah.
And of course you learn things.
Yes, two very good things. Yeah. So you're always learning in there. And Joe, talk a little bit about, so as a Master Gardener, if you're the word certified, is this something that takes a long time, or does it take a few months, a couple of years? How does that work?
It really doesn't take that long. Your first year, you have a certain number of hours that you volunteer, and then once you've met the volunteer hours, then you're certified.
Yeah.
And we have all type of people. You have people with an apartment. You have people with 10 acres. So
Sure.
it's just
Yeah.
people that have house plants as an interest and conifers as an interest.
Well, that was my question. What were some of the opportunities? And you kind of touched on some
You
of that.
can learn just about anything because there's symposiums that offer training. We have each month there's a topic that we have. Next month it's on a Japanese flower arrangement in Cabana.
Yeah.
With a speaker that's really good. So we're trying to get continuing education because you just can't know everything when it comes to gardening.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that because you two obviously have been doing it a while. This is kind of a question for both of you, but some people say, well, it just seems like this person just, no matter what they plant, it always seems to look great. Or then this person, they can't plant anything, whether it's fruits, whether it's vegetables, whether it's plants, whatever it might be. Talk a little bit about, either one of you, talk a little bit about that. Obviously, you have to be smart, when to plant, when to know when to plant, and all those kind of things. Talk a little bit about that.
I'd like to
aspect.
answer.
Yeah,
I'd
answer
like
that a
to
little bit,
answer
Peggy. Yeah.
When before I was a master gardener, my idea of plants was you plant it, and if it doesn't do good there, then you move it.
I think that's a general idea for a lot of people, right?
Right. I never looked anything up. I just bought a plant because I liked it.
Yeah.
So that was, that was the way I did as just me. But then after I got in Master Gardeners, I became aware that you could go in and study about what the plant liked or didn't like, and it made it a lot easier because I didn't have to move things around
Right.
in my yard. So it has been an education for me, and I think all of us get an education by being in it, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And we share, as Master Gardeners, we share plants and share ideas
Yeah.
of different things, which has been wonderful too.
Do you have a favorite, Peggy, that you like to plant? Like if we went to your home and do you have favorites?
I have a shade yard,
Okay.
and I could not start to tell you. Just have to come see
Well,
me.
it'd be a whole different show. Your own show will be dedicated to that as well. So I love the fact, Joe, back to you, that there are opportunities in the community to be, a blessing to others with this. Talk about that aspect of
Well,
it.
one of the big, we do several things. One of the projects we did last year that was very successful was we selected 2 schools and we planted 400 daffodil bulbs at each school.
Really?
So we give a little lesson to the kids.
Sure.
And then it was fun to go back in the spring and see the bulbs up. One kid says, "Oh, that's mine." It was the biggest one, right? I planted that one. So we do
Yeah.
that to try and involve the community as much as possible.
Yeah, so it's education and training, which is just wonderful, and to be able to do it in the community is a wonderful thing. Well, guys, so we talked a little bit about what Master Gardening is, what you guys do, what it takes to be a part of it. We mentioned Julie, and obviously getting with her if you're interested in later into May and throughout the summer and beyond. But let's talk about the 10th Annual Extension Master Gardener Association of Cleveland County. It's got a long title, Plant Sale. It's coming up on Saturday, May 11th, and Peggy, let's talk about this day. 8 to 11 a.m. If I come out to this, what am I going to be dealing with and expecting for this day?
Well, this year, Joe is our chairman of ours, so I'd like to defer to him.
Well, Joe, absolutely. Well, that's all right.
That's fine, Peggy.
Yeah, since like Peggy's been on a couple of committees here.
Yeah.
But no, Joe, what if I bring the wife family out? What are we looking at for this
Well,
day?
we have about 50 active members.
Okay.
Each member is supposed to bring at least 10 plants. Many bring more than 10. A lot of them are certain, if you plant natives in your yard and certain perennials, if you do it right, they're going to spread.
Absolutely.
So what we do is take the ones that are spread, pot them up, and take them to the plant sale. Some people start flowers. We have vegetable plants. But it's stuff that you're not necessarily going to find at one of the nurseries.
Right.
You may, but we try and be a little bit
Something a little different.
Try to be.
Yeah.
And we started this a couple of years ago, and last year we really went more advanced with our garden shed, where people make projects and bring them to sell. One person last year had an old chair that they put petunias in for the seat. Just things.
Yeah, just something. Something
things
you
that
wouldn't see normally.
You wouldn't see.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just-
Yeah, and I was going to mention, obviously, the location. We haven't talked about the location. The Cooperative Extension Auditorium. And now that's on South Post Road. Is that
Right,
correct?
right.
Yeah, and I've been in the auditorium a time or two, but the folks that hadn't, tell us about the auditorium. Great location to have this event, right?
It's right off the road there. You
Yeah.
park and come in. We'll have signs directing people to come in. We probably end up 600-700 plants.
Yeah.
And big crowd. And this year we're giving a free pack of seeds.
I see that.
Yeah.
First 100
First
customers
100.
get a free.
The first 500 really. but-
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm trying to be optimistic.
As long as the first 100 don't take too many. Yeah. That's,
Well, we're only giving one. per
oh, I
person.
got you. Well, I feel pretty good about that then. No, that is a wonderful thing. And so the thing I like about this event, number one, it's great for Master Gardeners, for the North Carolina Cooperative Extension, but you just talked about it. It's something it's different than you would see at some of the other locations. We've got a lot of wonderful locations, obviously, around Cleveland County and surrounding areas to buy flowers and plants, but this is just a unique event, I think, Joe. Wouldn't you agree?
Right, it is. That's how I became a master gardener. I went by the big flashing sign, and I thought, went in there and just talking to some of the members. Oh, this is a good group of people, and it's been rewarding ever since.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Now, let's talk about the money raised. So I'm assuming you can take cash or credit card for this event, correct?
Right. Yeah, we just added the credit card last year, and that helped because people don't always have a lot of
Yeah,
cash.
you know, we live in a time where a lot of people don't carry cash.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people that. Where does the money raised for this event? Where will it go, Joe?
Well, we have several scholarships that we do. We started a scholarship with the Cleveland County schools if they're interested in horticulture. And we had 4 applications this year, and we
Really?
gave out $2,000 scholarships. We work closely with the 4-H. We have scholarships for their camps that they go to as well.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful community event, and that's great that you offer those scholarships. And we're getting to that time of year where where a lot of graduating classes will be coming up. That's an exciting time. Some of the other plant you mentioned a few of them. Well, let's talk about the plant. I know you covered some of it, but I guess all types of plants that will be available for sale that morning, correct?
Right. Well, there'll be shade,
Okay.
sun, native, annual, perennial,
Vegetable,
trees,
vegetables.
vegetables.
You got it all.
Pretty much all.
So if you're a year round, if you're just a seasonal like kind of I am with that, so you'll have a little bit of everything. And I guess a lot of people go out of there with a pretty good event that they carry out. I guess you look. Do you
we have
ways-
wagons.
I was going to ask you. You
We got
to-
boxes and wagons. We will
Most
help
people
you.
are looking for the wagons when they come in.
We will help anybody that needs a wagon for sure.
You'll help get it to the back of that
Oh,
vehicle
yes.
and load them up.
Yep.
But I bet it is a great event, Peggy.
Yes, it is. And we label every plant. So you know what season it is, you know when it blooms, you know whether it's an annual or a perennial, all the basic information that you really need to know as to whether it'll fit in your yard.
Yeah.
We're giving it to you.
So that's going to be a great event Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m., May 11th. Saturday, just right around the corner as you're watching Talk of the Town for this great event at the North Carolina Cooperative Extension. It'll be right there in the auditorium. So this will be a wonderful event. So guys, let's just talk about again, if you want more information about the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Master Gardener Program, how can we do that again?
Well, we got a table set up inside the
Okay.
office there. The one thing when you ask about growing your plants,
Yeah.
it's best to start with a soil sample. It's free. We have the little boxes there that you get and send off to the state. You get it back and it'll tell you whether you need lime, whether you need nitrogen. So that's the best place to start.
Yeah. So education is key.
Education.
Yeah, and I think
Or information. I mean, it's
information.
just-
And I
yeah.
think Peggy, it goes back to what you're talking about. You were saying back in the day, we just planted it. If it didn't work, we moved somewhere. But
That's
if you're
right.
educated, it might be a little different story, right?
Yes.
It helps out a
That
lot.
is right. And we are out in the community. We have a booth a couple of times a month at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
We go to
on
Earth
Saturdays, right? Yeah.
in Shelby and Kings Mountain.
Okay.
And we participate in Earth Day in Kings Mountain. There's always information out there. You can actually get information about Master Gardeners there. Plus, they have other information that's you would enjoy picking up, or at least listening to them.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being on Talk of the Town. Wish you the best of luck for this great event on May the 11th over at the Cooperative Extension Auditorium. I hope you sell it out
Hope we do
that
too.
morning. And thank you for being on Talk of the Town. And I guess if you hadn't planted, it's time to plant, right?
It's getting time to plant.
It's
yeah.
time to plant. Thanks for being on Talk of the Town,
Thank you
guys.
for having
Okay,
us.
Thank you.
Hey, if you've got story ideas for Talk of the Town, info at c19.tv. You see it on your screen. There is the location to email us your ideas for future programs. I've been Tim Foster for Talk of the Town, and we'll see you again next week.